Oh, welcome Delray, Rawlins, back to the island. You've had a full season now with Sussex. Sum up this season for us.
Yeah, it was pretty much full season, but a good season for me in terms of getting into one format and I guess you could say solidifying a place there at 4. And now, it's sort of a cliche, but now the hard work starts and to solidify my spot in 2 other formats, really.
It's been, well, we saw throughout the season you were used sporadically in the other formats. And bowling as well in the other formats, but you didn't bowl in the 2020, obviously. Did that change your concept of what your role is from growing up? Because you used to enjoy, or you still probably do enjoy, the left arm bowling, don't you?
Yeah, it does a little bit. I guess you could say, looking at the way the games I played, I played probably more as a batter who bowls. And yeah, I still bowl in the second team, and I still bowl in training and stuff. And I was actually very close to bowling a couple of T20s this year. So it's always a case of just staying ready. But obviously, our 2 spinners, the 3 spinners that we've used throughout the year have been top draw in Rash, Biro, and Briggsy. So can't really complain and not bowl them when you got those 3 in front of you. But yeah, I mean, just when I get the opportunity, similar to when I had a bat, just looking to take it and do my job.
Breaking into that team, obviously you had a good start to the year over in India and then moved into the English league and got off to a rocky start, but then started to get those numbers that you were looking for consistently. Getting into that 2020 team, how much of a satisfaction was it for you knowing, okay, I've made my breakthrough, I've just got to keep going?
Yeah, it was massive because like you said, it wasn't the start to the season that I would have wanted, and just worked hard with Mike Yardy and just working out my game really, and then something started to click in the white ball cricket really, and I was hitting the ball really well. And actually, the coach, we actually had a day where in the second team where most of the first team boys played. Mm-hmm. And I managed to get a few there, and it was nice to perform in front of the head coach and the captain as well. So, finally getting in the team was just, it was one of those things where working hard in the second team actually got me a place, because I was getting scores in the second team in T20 cricket. So I was really pleased to one, get the chance to play, and then once I got the chance to play, doing well was extra special.
You had some periods where the form wasn't there. You had a few, 2 ducks in a row, here, there, sort of thing. What are you telling yourself when this is going on? Because it's got to be, for your mental state, it's got to be a little tough at times, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, the most definitely. The first one came at a pretty crucial time. I was actually going pretty well as well, and it just happened. I just got a first ball duck, and it came at a crucial time. We needed to win the game, and it was a low scoring game, and it would have been a tough one. But luckily, the other guys were around, chased on. We got the total in the end and got over the line. And the second one was more of it was a bit unlucky really. I came in sort of the 14th, 15th over, where the boys had been smacking it, and just tried to turn one around the corner and got caught at short fine leg, and those things happen really in cricket. That's the game really. So it didn't really get to me too much, especially because the team was still winning. I'd take a first ball duck any day over, and the lads winning, rather than me getting 40 or 50 and not win. So I was quite happy that the boys were winning. And then when it came to the quarterfinal, when I was on 3 in a row, I was reminded of it before the game, definitely.
Right.
There's a few jokes around the dressing room with a few of the boys, but yeah, those things really happened. But once I got off the mark in the quarterfinal, I was pretty happy. So.
It's like you made a century, innit? Now, you're in the dressing room. Obviously, you guys have been out, warmed up and everything, but you're in the dressing room in the quarterfinals and you could hear the noise outside. What is that feeling like?
Yeah, it's different. I don't know. It's one of those things you say you can't really describe. Especially we were fielding first, so... And it was very cold. It was cold up in Durham, up north there. So I was more worried about keeping my hands warm and stuff. I was getting hand warmers ready and stuff like that. But no, yeah, it was the atmosphere just gave you a buzz, and it got you up for the game if you weren't up for it already. That's what those sort of big crowds do for you. Finals day was a bit similar actually as well. But yeah, the quarterfinal, everyone just knew that what the job was, and the job was to win. Like I said, the crowd just gave you that buzz to do that.
Are you glad that you were playing two games in the day kind of thing, especially in semi-final and the final? Because you didn't have to go away and come back sort of thing. You played, you waited, and then you played.
Yeah, I mean, we do that in the second team as well. So we played 2 T20s in a day. So a couple of us who had played a few, everyone's probably played second team T20s. We're most likely used to it. But yeah, it was because you're so anxious to get to finals day. Once you make it there, you just want the day to come. So to finally play and then play the semi-final and for everyone to contribute in that win, and to know that you have a bit of momentum going into the second game was good for us. And it was to play with a better team on the day. I guess you can say they bowled really, really well and made it tough for us to score, and they probably deserved winners that day.
Looking back at the season, what do you say I need to work on during this off period to ensure that I try and get a good start? Because obviously it takes one ball to get you out. It takes, you're bowling, sometimes you don't hit your mark, but what's going to get you off to that flying start come next season?
I've actually been thinking about that a lot since I've been back. I think it's a lot to do, just my red ball game, really, just keep trying to understand my red ball game and keep grooming it. And we have, I've got a pretty good relationship with Mike Yardy, and we do quite a lot of work on my batting and stuff. And so yeah, that's probably one of the main goals for me. Just keep grooming my red ball game, because my white ball game, I'm starting to understand it a bit more, and it's starting to come on quite a lot. It's obviously still room for improvement. I'm not a finished product yet. But yeah, there's the red ball game is probably something that I'd say I want to improve more. Were you disappointed or okay with the fact that the Lions went on another tour, but you weren't selected this time around? Nah, I wasn't really expecting selection really. I only played one format really. I wasn't really thinking about that, to be honest.
You're welcome in the break.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to have a break. But no, it wasn't something I was expecting. So, for them to go, there's a lot of lads on that tour who deserve it, who have probably been knocking on their door for a couple of years, and there's credit to them, and hopefully they go well on that tour. Mm-hmm.
At the end of last season, you had a venture over in Australia. Kamal Leverock is over there now. What are some of the things that he's going through that you went through that you've probably given him advice of what to look out for? Because one thing about Australia, no matter where it is, pitches are pretty much the same. The styles are pretty much the same. So he's in Adelaide. So what's some of the advice you've given him in preparation for his time over there?
Things are just different. Cricket's tough. Those guys over there, they're just always coming at you. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you just prepare yourself for that. Really, it's like you said, the conditions are pretty much the same all around. The wickets are pretty good wickets, and the cricket's a good standard really. So yeah, just prepare yourself for them to come at you for 120 overs in a day, really.
And then obviously there's always that opportunity knocking at the door to play full international cricket for England. They're not having the best of times right now. Well, obviously they won their series, but the last match they kind of didn't put a team effort together. Looking at that whole setup and looking at the guys that are knocking on the door, because you have a player in your team that's actually been pushed into that team. What advice is he giving back to you guys, or what words of encouragement is he giving back to you guys to expect once you get up to that level?
It's just that everyone can do the skill more consistently. Really, that's why they're playing for England or why they're getting picked. It's not necessarily that those guys up there have more talent than you or are that much more skillful than you. It's just that they nail the skills more consistently and day in, day out, really, in international cricket. And yeah, that's probably the main thing, you take from that, really, and see how hard they work on the skills, and that's something that you can, add to your game, to the way that you go about your preparation and stuff, and that's what makes them England cricketers and international, and do it so consistently on the international stage.
When you play a match that has an international player playing either England, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, because they play all throughout the leagues as well, does that make you more determined to want to, if you're bowling, bowl that person out, or if you're batting, to make sure that you see that person off the ball?
Definitely. You especially if you're bowling, you want to get the big wickets, and if you're batting, if you get 100, then it's always nice to say, oh, Stokes was bowling or Woody was bowling. Mm-hmm. So yeah, most definitely. It also just shows you where you're at in terms of maybe your skill level, your mental toughness, or those sorts of things. Because those guys don't come back to county cricket and just use it as a practice game. They come back and they play hard. So yeah, it gives you a chance to see where you're at, but also, like you say, it gives you that extra bit of motivation to be a bit better, if that makes sense, or just go that extra yard to try and put your name out there, so to say, if you get that big scalp, or you taking them on as a batter.
What is life like as a full-time cricketer? I know you play just about every weekend, you play pretty much throughout the week, but what is life like as a professional cricketer?
Yeah, it's nice. So definitely, you can't doubt it. I can't say that is anything wrong with it. I'm enjoying it, definitely. My second year as a full-time pro, and I really enjoyed it. But I sometimes I don't really think of it as that. I just think of it as my job, really, which is what it is. I just wake up every day and go and play cricket, with the odd rest day here and there. But I thoroughly enjoy it. I don't see myself giving it up anytime soon. But yeah, it's a dream job of mine, and hopefully I can carry it on for the next few years to come.
I remember about when I was going back and forth with you about doing this interview, I was looking at some old pictures when you were a wee boy, and now to see you, what you've grown into and what you've become, is something that I'm extremely proud of, and I know your mom and dad are very proud of you. But looking at what's in the future, we always can't say what's out there, but what would you like to be able to achieve over the next, say, 5 years in your cricket career?
I'd definitely, like to be a regular in the Sussex team. I'd like to be a big player at the club, and the faith that they've showed in me, and what they've given me so far, that it would only be right to sort of pay them back in that way and help to win trophies at the club. But then also you got the international achievements after that. That's not something that I really look at or think about, when I'm playing. I just want to put in performances for my club. But also, if I get to that level and get to that stage in my career where I'm good enough to be at that level, then obviously that's something that I want to do. But for now and in the future, I just want to think about solidifying a place at Sussex and contributing to big wins and bringing trophies back to Hove.
And we look forward to you doing that more and more on a regular basis come next season. So I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I want to thank you for joining me here. Enjoy your time off. I know it's going to go by fast because it's back to work in January. So thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of your time here, all right?
Thank you.